Hey all Guardians, Top Cat here and welcome back to the channel. With today's kit we're going to be one of the stealthiest mofos around, cloak and dagger style, with an exotic that was brought to my attention by one of you guys in the comments, Mr. Stormborn, so many thanks to him, and we've infused it with a bit of an aspect exploitation that is yet to be fixed. This kit gives us plenty of AoE damage from shadow to shadow. We have a bug that is yet to be corrected by the Ascension aspect, and we're going to be taking advantage of the Gwisin's vest, but perhaps not as it was intended. Firstly, I want to talk about that Ascension bug, as when we're holding a sword, it will transfer any of the light attack traits that the sword can apply directly to our Ascension attack. This means any target I kill with that Arc Storm, they're going to spawn a chain reaction damage. These Ascension jolts will now also trigger hatchlings. We've also got those exotic swords. I found the Stormbringer quite good. We've got plenty of good swords like the Falling Guillotine that we can get enhanced destabilizing rounds on. Incandescent can work well too, but perhaps more in a solar season. If you wanted more ability uptime, you could rock that Ergo Sum with Gathering Light. We spend an Ascension charge. That Arc Storm will kill things down below. Then we swap off our swords and we should hopefully have our charge back. With the Lament, we can both heal ourselves and give ourselves ammo back. And no doubt you guys have a flash and redirection sword. It's fun here as we can still spawn all those threadlings, and Ascension kills count towards right direction kills. But equally, on this kit, I found Flash and Hatchlings work particularly well here. Our Solar Cade Sword has Strategist on it. If we get a good batch of Ascension kills, we can have that charge straight back. And One for All is really good here too, as we just have to tag enemies with our Ascension, and it'll put the sword to max damage. For me though, I opted for the Falling Guillotine, as it's void, and we can both pair chain reaction and destabilizing rounds on the same sword. So Ascension locked in, and when we do this is going to reset our amplified for 15 seconds, as well as giving us that 15% damage resist. I'm pairing that with Acrobat's dodge, so when we use our Ascension attack we gain that radiant to make us 20% stronger and allow our weapons to pierce anti-barrier shields. We have Facet of Hope, so when we have a buff, it's going to increase our class ability recharge by 60%. And as Ascension produces Amplified, it's a nice perpetual loop. You're going to want Facet of Awakening, as when we get multi-kills, it's going to generate us elemental pickups. This kit makes 3 of them fairly regularly. We have Ionic Traces feeding us ability energy across the board. We have that Void Breach that's going to straight up give us Ascension juice, or Tangles, which can fuel our unraveling particles. We've got Dielectric, so when we defeat an arc debuff target, is going to grant us bulk charges. We've got that Defibrillating Blast, meaning that whenever we stun a champion, it's going to give us max stacks of bulk charge. These charges are not only going to just jolt, but they're also going to heal us. And of course, Flash Over is a must, making one of these bulk charges hit for 55,000, whilst also topping us back up with that Amplified, keeping us safer for longer, and recharging that Ascension quicker. The second half of this kit is what Storm brought to my attention. This was the rework that happened to our Spectral Blades exotic chest piece, the Gwisin's vest. Now you may note that I'm not actually rocking Spectral Blades, I'm just ignoring the first half of this exotic's perks. What I'm interested in, when exiting invisibility whilst near a target, we're going to create a cloud of weakening smoke around us. So what this really does is give us infinite smoke bombs. These not only disorientate our targets, it's going to weaken them so we can do a bonus 15% damage to them. And we paired that with Stylist Executioner, so once we kill them, we're going to slip back into the shadows. What we want to do is get up nice and close and personal with that sword in hand. When we exit invisibility, then we're going to drop a Fart Cloud and Ascension, zapping all the targets with Jolt down below, whilst damaging them with our swords, destabilizing rounds, and chain reaction. Now, we want to make sure we got that sword in hand when we do our Ascension, but when we land, we want to have a glaive in hand. So with one prod of the stick, we can go back into invis. We can then reposition into that perfect spot, so when the smoke comes out, or us by lunging forward with that stick in hand, it'll actually smoke before we hit, so we can have that really quick invisibility downtime. I can hard recommend that Excalibur for this kit, as we can get a constant flow of overshields. We simply block a little bit with the smallest bit of charge, then we get the melee kill, and this will top us right back off. Then when we have an overshield, our melee hits are going to hit 20% harder. Then with no bell and the artifact, if we block some damage, it's then going to increase our damage even further by 55%, for 6 seconds. And with hold the line, that's going to increase our reload speed and heal us on those kills. Now you really want to play amongst the herd with this kit to maximize its potency. We tend to be visible for like mere seconds, but we will be surrounded, so we're going to want that facet of protection to give us another 15% damage resist while surrounded. And then if we pop the pink or the stink, we can get another 32% damage resist whilst transcendent. So with double void weapons, we're going to be rocking that volatile marksman, so when we get void multi-kills, it's going to give us volatile rounds. Then with malign harvest boosted, every time we apply weaken, we get ourselves a bit of overshield, which not only makes it easier for us to tank some damage, but it's also going to make our glaive stronger. But I want even more than just that volatile, weakened and jolting effect. We've also got that call. This is strand, so we can pick up an orb of power, or a tangle, which we can either make by strand ability kills or from that facet awakening to give us those unraveling rounds. Those unraveling rounds are going to spawn us those threadlings when we do additional damage with our jab sticks. I like the grapple for several reasons. Me Tarzan, you Jane, and it unravels targets, leading to that threadling factory farm. Now our melee doesn't matter as much as we've generally got that glaive in hands, but whatever melee you do choose, make sure that I can debuff, that way we can go invis with stylish from range. Now obviously we can't go spectral blade on prismatic, so I chose the storm's edge. I'll often throw my threaded spike in there first to debuff. I'll blink in, extinguishing all the little guys, go invis, pop that second attack, weakening them as I do so. But I went Storm's Edge for another reason as well, as with Facet of Purpose, when we pick up an Orb of Power, it's going to grant us Bolt Charge, and with Facet of Defiance, whenever we use a finisher, we're going to send out Jolt. This makes it some of the most stealthy play with massive AoE around you, as we can just bounce from opponent to opponent, weakening them with that corrosive smoke, jolting them, and unraveling them as those threadlings go piranha style for their necks. Now feel free to pause here for all my mods, fragments and artifacts, but there will be a dim link in the description down below. Big up Stormborn for pointing out this in the comments down below. Tippy Tamo Damie, keep those comments going. This is like a really strong kit when you're solo running. Please give it a go for yourselves though. Make sure to thumb it if you dug it, sub if you're new, and as always, Tippy Tamo Damies, what a tie.